Hello dear viewers, welcome to our channel where we bring you the latest, most exciting and dramatic developments surrounding the drama that is causing a stir on the small screen, Beyond the Gates. This is not only a captivating soap opera, but also a world of secrets, conspiracies, and shocking truths hidden behind the luxurious doors of the Dupree family. And in today's article, we will take you deeper into one of the darkest and most surprising moments, where a witness who has been silent for too long finally bursts into tears to expose everything, and from there drags the whole family into a spiral of suspicion, betrayal, and terrible truth. A gloomy atmosphere enveloped the Dupree mansion on a seemingly peaceful evening but full of hidden storms. The sparkling crystal lights were not enough to hide the tension spreading in every glance, every whisper. Everyone present had their own speculations and calculations, and everyone understood that at any moment a new secret could be revealed, threatening to break the shiny shell that this family had worked so hard to build. In the midst of that heavy atmosphere, Peaches, who was considered a shadow, always retreating to the back in every argument and conflict, suddenly stood up. Her hands trembled, her voice was lost in fear, but each word she uttered was like a sharp knife cutting into the silence. She confessed that she had witnessed the moment Allison was framed in the case related to Chelsea's death, affirming that Allison was completely innocent, but because of the terrible power of those behind her, she had been forced to remain silent all this time. The room was stunned. The eyes that had once looked at Allison with suspicion now wavered, wavering between belief and disbelief. Allison, who had endured the contempt and terrible pressure from her family and the public, suddenly became the image of a pitiful victim in the eyes of many people. But the truth revealed late was not simply a salvation, it also brought with it countless consequences. Peaches, unable to hold back her emotions, knelt down before Leslie, the woman who was considered the cold and steadfast pillar of the family. She begged Leslie to use her power and influence to save Allison, because otherwise, everything would be too late. Leslie, who always appeared calm, suddenly felt the terrible weight of the truth pressing down on her shoulders. She understood that her decision would not only decide Allison's fate, but could also open up an underground war that the family had never imagined. Because the person behind the trap is not a single individual, but an entire underground network of power capable of manipulating justice, the media, and even the intricate political relationships around Fairmont Crest. From that moment, everything began to crack. Some people in the family immediately expressed their doubts about Peaches, thinking that she was just making up stories to save herself or that she might be being used by the opposing side. Others began to panic, because if Peaches' words were true, then all the faith they had placed in justice, in the safety of the family, was just an illusion. Allison, who had been treated as a traitor, now became the center of sympathy, but at the same time, she was also the cause of an undercurrent that would engulf everything. Leslie stood at a crossroads. On one hand, she had the responsibility to protect the honor and safety of the Dupree family. On the other hand, she cannot ignore Peaches' desperate and sincere plea. Inside her, two thoughts are in fierce conflict: either stay silent to keep the family from being dragged into danger, or engage in a battle with an invisible enemy where just one wrong move can destroy everything. In the following days, a wave of suspicion spreads throughout the upper-class Fairmont Crest community. Whispered rumors, scrutinizing glances, distorted stories in the newspapers, all make the truth even more blurred. Allison is trapped in the siege of public opinion, while Leslie quietly begins to investigate, following the fragile traces that Peaches unintentionally left in her confession. Old political connections, shady financial contracts, and even secrets from Chelsea's past gradually come together, revealing a picture much more complicated than the family imagined. Peaches, an obscure figure, suddenly became the center of attention. Her unexpected courage won the admiration of many, but at the same time, she became a target for those who wanted to silence the only witness. Unexpected accidents, threats in the dark, even strange shadows appearing around the mansion made it impossible for anyone to deny that the force behind the incident was really at work. Peaches was pushed into a dangerous situation, and Leslie was forced to choose: either publicly stand up to protect her and Allison, or retreat to preserve the family's honor. With each passing day, the conflict in the Dupree family became more tense. Some members believed that Leslie should let Allison bear the brunt of it, considering it the price for getting involved in complicated relationships. But Leslie knew that if Allison were to collapse, the family would not only lose a loved one, but also inadvertently hand victory to those who had created this cruel plot. Her decision is not only personal, but also a turning point for the Dupree future. And so, a chain of events begins to explode, leading the entire family into a spiral of truth and lies, where every word, every step can become the spark for a bigger explosion. Peaches has planted the seed of truth, and it is Leslie who must choose whether to nurture it into a saving light or extinguish it to protect the fragile peace. In the world of Beyond the Gates, no truth comes without a price, and no decision does not leave a scar. Dear friends, that is the full picture of a tense, dramatic, and haunting development that just happened in Beyond the Gates. The story is not over yet, new secrets are still waiting to be revealed, and Allison's future, as well as the survival of the Dupree family, still hangs on a fragile knife edge. If you want to continue following the shocking plot twists, unexpected twists, and breathtaking confrontations in this movie, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any updates.